We are back at this time once again. Well, hello viewers, good evening and welcome to this edition. I'm KV Nurmi bringing you the news. In the next 10 minutes, we will try to bring you all the latest news and updates from across the world, the country, the region, and from the state as well. So stay tuned. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Nagaland government says lockdown measures will continue to remain in force up to May 3, 2020 to contain the spread of COVID-19. Issues consolidated revised guidelines incorporating certain relaxations. Selective relaxation come into force in non-containment areas from today. No relaxations in containment zone. And corona cases go past 17,000 in India. Death toll rises to 543. Now the details. Nagaland government has issued directions to all departments that the lockdown measures will continue to remain in force up to May 3, 2020 to contain the spread of COVID-19. In an order issued today, the Chief Secretary, Nagaland Temjin Toy, stated that the Ministry of Home Affairs has allowed select additional activities which came into force today in order to mitigate hardships to the people. However, the Chief Secretary stated that these additional activities are to be operationalized based on strict compliance to the existing guidelines on lockdown measures. The order stated that before operating these relaxations, all departments, district administration, workplaces, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations are to ensure that all preparatory arrangements with regard to social distancing in offices, factories and establishments as also other sectorial requirements are in place. The order indicated that the consolidated revised guidelines incorporating these relaxations, which stated that the consolidated revised guidelines will not apply in containment zones as demarcated by the Department of Health and Family Welfare District Administration. It stated that the directions have been issued to all for the strict implementation of the consolidated revised guidelines throughout the state of Nagaland with immediate effect up to May 3, 2020. With the extension of the lockdown period, the following activities will continue to remain prohibited across the state of Nagaland until May 3, 2020. All buses for public transport, inter-district and interstate movement of individuals except for medical reasons or for activities permitted under these guidelines. All educational training, coaching institutions, etc. shall remain closed. Taxis, including auto rickshaws and cycle rickshaws and services of cab aggregators, all cinema halls, malls, shopping complexes, gymnasiums, sports and swimming pools, entertainment parks, theaters, dine-in restaurants and auditoriums, assembly halls and similar places. Services provided by self-employed persons like electricians, IT repairs, plumbers, carpenters will be permitted, provided proper social distancing norms are followed. All schools and educational institutions, including home tutorials and vocational institutions, shall continue to remain closed till further orders. Offices of the Government of India, its autonomous subordinate offices will function as per the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Respective Deputy Commissioners may facilitate for movement of officers and staff. Essential service providers like BSNL and private telecom services, internet service providers, media, LPG, banks and ATMs, petroleum outlets, treasury, fire and emergency services, home guards and civil defense, prisons, PHED, power, NIC, DIPR, postal services, food and civil supplies, social welfare, IT&C, municipalities, council, AIR, Doordarshan, pharmacies, district administration, police and medical shall continue as per previous arrangements. The order stated that the violation of lockdown measures will invite offences and penalties under Section 51 to 60 of the Disaster Management Act 2005. In the wake of extension of national lockdown till 3rd May, a series of directives have been put in place to ensure strict compliance of lockdown. However, keeping in mind the current financial situation of low-income earners and farmers, the Centre has said that it will be permitting a few more services to function in areas that are not COVID-19 containment zones from today. Operation of the fishing aquaculture industry, movement of fish and fish products and workers of all these activities are allowed. The guideline also allows operations of tea, coffee and rubber plantations with maximum of 50% workers. Poultry farms, livestock farming activity are allowed. Food processing industries in rural areas, manufacture of IT hardware, coal production, mines and mineral production, manufacturing units of packaging material have been allowed to operate. Operations of seaports and inland container depots for cargo transport, including authorized custom clearing and forwarding agents, will function as well. IT and IT enabled services have been allowed to resume functioning with up to 50% strength. In order to mitigate the hardships to the public, select additional activities will be allowed. All agricultural and horticultural activities, including farming operations by farmers and farm workers and field agencies engaged in procurement of agricultural products, including MSP operations, mandis operated by the Agriculture Produce Market Committee, shops of agricultural machinery will remain fully functional during this time. In a major relaxation, services provided by self-employed persons like electrician, IT repairs, plumbers, motor mechanics and carpenters will also be allowed to operate in all such areas which are not demarcated as containment zones. Courier services, cold storage, private security services, hotels accommodating people stranded due to lockdown have been allowed to operate. India saw the biggest single-day spike in the number of coronavirus cases with 1,553, taking the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country to 17,265. Health Ministry data said the number of active COVID-19 cases stood at 14,175. As many as 2,546 patients have been cured and discharged from the hospitals, while 543 patients have died. No new cases have been reported in Mahe in Puducherry and in Kodagu district of Karnataka in the last few days. Goa and Manipur have declared negative cases of COVID-19. Deputy Commissioner Dimapur Anup Kinchi has expressed serious concern with regard to continued barring of entry-exit of people working in the front line providing essential services by several colonies, villages, despite repeated appeals made by the district administration. DC Dimapur warned that strict action will be initiated and cases would be registered against those obstructing movement of the frontline workers. Frontline workers are encouraged to report such instances, reminding that social organizations have a very important role to play during such situations. Anup Kinchi appealed to the NGOs, GPs, village councils for sensitizing and educating the people in their respective colonies and villages. Instead of people guarding the village colonies in groups, it is always better to stay at home and maintain social distance and be safe, the DC advised. This was conveyed by the Deputy Commissioner in a meeting of the Dimapur District Task Force members today, which was held in the conference hall of DC Dimapur. In international news, more than 160,000 people have died from the new coronavirus around the world, almost two-thirds of them in Europe, according to an AFP tally on Sunday based on official sources. A total of 160,502 fatalities have been registered out of 23,31,318 cases. These include 1,01,398 deaths and 11,51,820 infections in Europe, the continent hardest hit by the coronavirus. The United States is the country with the most reported deaths of 39,090, followed by Italy with 23,227, Spain with 20,453, France 19,323 and Britain with 15,464. Let's take a look at some of the news that's coming in from the rest of the districts of Nagaland. Acknowledging the role of frontline workers fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, the Dipupar Village Council along with its VDB, DNYO, DNWO distributed packed lunch to security personnel, traffic police and volunteers today from Chumukitima to DC office Dimapur. The Dipupar Village Council expressed gratitude and lauded the law enforcing agencies and frontline workers for their sacrifices and appealed to them to keep up the noble act in the call of duty to serve the people. It further requested every citizen to cooperate and abide the guidelines enforced by the administration for the safety of all.
kan ke lain chalai ase khushibura ta kan bahar gure ju gura garni
From Chumikituma to DC court.
this court
And on duty থাকে always busy থাকে কি আমি কান আরাম করে থাকি হলে আমি কান এনে অলপ আমি কান লা সাইড পাবি আপনি কান কে সাপোর্ট করে আছে দইনা এটুই অলপ আছে
Well, that's all we have for you in this edition. We'll see you some other time with lots more. Do subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Meanwhile, stay home and stay safe. From all of us here, it's bye for now and thanks for watching.